Hello, everyone. Welcome or welcome back. I am Jane Kofi. I am the Director of Curriculum Instruction for Responsive Classroom, and I am joined by three of my colleagues today who will introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm the Director of Marketing, and I'm here to support Ellie and Tina tonight as they present the webinar. So I'll be turning my camera off and I'll be here to answer questions. So thanks for joining us. I'll pass it on to Ellie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ellie Cornicelli. I am the Director of Implementation and Engagement for Fly 5, and I'm excited to be with you all this evening or afternoon, if that's where you are. And I'll pass it to Tina.
Hi, everybody. Back again. This is Tina Miller, and I am Chief of Educational Partnerships. I love talking about all things responsive classroom and Fly 5. So I'm excited to be here again tonight to share a little bit more of how we can partner with each other.
And Tina told me she's making a cameo tonight, so this is her cameo, a cameo appearance. So thank you all for joining us this evening. We are going to be talking about a new course called Teaching Children to Care. This is a new caring-centered, skill-based approach to discipline. So this name, you may know it, comes from a long-standing text from Responsive Classroom. It reflects a shift in thinking, and the shift in thinking really is around this idea of discipline. So, from correcting behavior to really teaching skills that the students need within a multi-tiered system of support, otherwise known as MTSS. So we are ensuring that students get what they need at all of these levels, all these different tiers of needs for students to flex those skills within behavioral and emotional and social needs. And this course is for anyone who supports students. So it could be teachers, could be counselors, could be administrators, really anyone who is interacting with students in either whole group, small group, or one-on-one settings. So we are going to dive in by thinking about a behavior challenge. So as you all are getting back into maybe after a few snow days or a snow week, getting back into the classrooms with students and schools with students, give us a behavior challenge, and you can just drop it right in the chat, thinking about what's a misbehavior or a behavior challenge that you've seen recently. Could be in the hallways, during transitions. Lunchroom, I know, is always a hot spot for students. So be thinking about what is a misbehavior that you've seen recently. So maybe students kind of shutting down or acting out. As we are thinking about this course and thinking about all of this new coursework, we want to think of these misbehaviors as data, as information. So instead of asking, how do we correct this, we would think, what skills are they missing? So as you look at the chat right now and see maybe there's some acting out or there's some shutting down, and you can just think to yourself, what skills might be missing? So it could be students not having the problem-solving skills that are needed in a situation. Maybe they're not having the skills of self-control or self-regulation to attend to whatever the problem is. So as we look at these misbehaviors or these challenges, we want to think of them as missing teaching, or excuse me, missing skill and teaching those skills. So that's really what a big part of this course is around moving away from discipline as correction, but more toward what skills are students missing and how can we support those skills. So the big idea here is that caring is an approach to discipline. So across all 3 days of this course, we will explore how caring helps students build the skills they need to be successful in and out of the classroom. And it includes a few things: a core framework for what teaching children to care is, what it means to learn to care, and also explore what is called attitudes of caring. So different ways of caring for students and showing how you're going to support them through that student growth. So a key emphasis here is a shared language and philosophy across the adult community. So if you are coming to us from a leadership seat tonight and thinking about how this could look in your school community, there is a shared language and shared strategies that teachers and behavioral specialists could use across the whole school community. And that is done through an MTSS framework. So it's done in a tiered way. We look at how to help adults respond consistently and make sure that we're teaching skills in ways that support students across all of those different tiered needs and in different settings. So we are thinking about how caring is teachable. So instead of thinking about discipline as a corrective, we're thinking about what skill is missing and how can I teach it? We can do that into tier one with our whole group students, instruction and support for everyone. And we do this to help students with their social, their behavioral, and their emotional and academic needs. It's very easy for us to think of academics as a skill building. We know when students don't know, a math strategy or don't know how to get to, maybe a graphic organizer within their arts class and how to do it. We sit down and we teach them and we show them and we model and we reinforce it. We're doing those same things with social and behavioral and emotional skills. So we're doing that in a tier one setting with all of our students. We're also showing how that can be done across small group and individually. So when students need that extra modeling, practice, reinforcement, just like we do with academics, we're also going to show that support in their social, behavioral, and emotional needs. So this helps to reduce power struggles with students and teachers. It protects the dignity of students by showing them how those skills can support the misbehaviors they may have or the behavior challenges they may have. And it supports those relationships that we work to create with students. It maintains relationships because we're focused on teaching those skills, not on a punitive approach. So through this approach in looking at it from a tiered perspective, we're going to provide tools for all of those things. So here we go. So day one, we're going to think kind of broadly about the mindset and the framework of the universal strategy. So how are we going to show that caring approach to discipline? How are we going to notice behaviors and notice those skills that may be missing? So just like we did in the chat a few moments ago, thinking about those misbehaviors in a different way as missing skills, and then move into, well, now that we know that, what are some hands-on design work we could do? We're going to look at lessons, routines, and adaptations for tier two supports. We are going to shift our thinking into discipline as an internal discipline, a skill building, not punitive in that sense of the word. So in day two, we'll explore those tier two supports. And then as we move into day three, we will have tools, we'll have observation, and some feedback tools that us to identify tier three supports and also track those tier three and tier two supports. So tracking what's working with students, what students need, adjusting supports and adjusting some of the skill building that we're doing with students in those groups. And we always want to make it practical. I always say, let's give tools that we can use tomorrow. Let's call it our tomorrow tools. What can I use tomorrow as a teacher? So tomorrow tools are in here because you will have scripts, you'll have language, you'll have observations to help identify skill needs and also ways to track growth with students. There are supports in there to help you build routines that are going to support engagement, belonging, and academic behaviors. So we define those, and all of the strategies that we use within the course support those, the engagement, academic belonging, and academic behaviors. And the overall goal is that we are applying these, push this. we're applying these strategies. So we're not just inspiring you to use these strategies, we want you to implement them. We want you to use them. So throughout those 3 days, we will have some hands-on engagement for you. We will have some kind of peer coaching and give you some tools to take back to your classrooms as well. So the big idea here is to move from discipline as punishment to discipline as teaching. So teaching skills that are missing, teaching skills that students are going to need to be successful in and out of the classroom. And this work supports wholesome, whole child growth in that we're looking at students socially, behaviorally, emotionally, that to lead to academic success. So when we talk about wholesome humans, we're talking about looking at them from the whole child, all of those assets or aspects and facets of a student. So throughout the training, we're going to support teachers and educators to apply what they learned, to think about it in their context, to think about it, as I say, from your seat, where you sit in that school community. What does it look for you to put these into place? And so that you can implement it with confidence right away and use those tomorrow tools as you get back to your classroom or your school community. That's it for me. I'm going to pass the mic to our cameo, Tina.
Before I talk a little bit more about next steps, I just want to share with the group. So we've been meeting with schools all across the nation. They're really excited about this course. With this idea of MTSS, I feel like a lot of schools, we're familiar with it from the academic standpoint. And it's a whole new ballgame when you're starting to really think about how do you teach? How do you monitor and really set the children up for success in that emotional setting, in that, the social setting as well. So we just met with the school this week too, and they said, yep, we're strong with academics. We know if a child is struggling with reading, here's what we're going to do. We've got our tier twos, our tier threes. We know what the benchmarks are, how we're going to do it. And he said, ooh, the area we do need support in is thinking about it through the lens of behavioral wellness as well. So that was exciting and a great conversation. I'm so excited for this new work to come through. So how can you take this course and how do you learn more about it? So we do have events that are pre-scheduled. And those are institutes where you could go places in person. You could attend them virtually as well. We have some coming up even in March that you could take and all throughout locations in the summer as well. So think of those as pre-scheduled. You come and you look at our calendar and you see what dates work for you. Now, for some schools, what we really love is let us come to you. How about having an event where your staff is together, working together, collaborating, and really solving those challenges that you see that are unique to your setting? So that's when we would come into play and talk with you about what dates do you want? What format do you want? Let's work together to bring this work to you. And it's just a great match to have us come to you as well. So that QR code on the screen is a link to a calendar booking site. And you just have, it can be as short as a 10 to 15 minute conversation or as long as you want. Because like I said before, we love talking about this. I have a team of staff. Many of them were educators as well. And what we want to do is be consultants. We want to match our services that we have to your needs and your unique challenges as well. So we would love to continue the conversation, book with us, and we would love to just bring these solutions to you. And a lot of people are really excited about them. And don't take it from me, but here's just some of the comments. And those of you that have been with me for these cameos the past few weeks, you've seen some of these comments. But I just think it's so powerful, and it really speaks to us wanting to personalize this interaction to make it all about you and your success, because what we do the most important work in the world, and it's hard work, and we want our children and our staff to be successful. All right, back to you, Ellie. Thank you.
All right, so thank you so much for that, Tina. And as we look ahead, March is here. So here we go. March is coming. It's here this week. So to take a look at these dates, see what's happening and what's going on. Of course, the dates, or the course is also offered through the summer, but there are some dates coming up in March that you could potentially pencil in. And the previously shared link is where you can go and check that out online for all of the dates. But here are the ones that are coming up very soon, very quickly. And I think that's about it. I don't think we have anything else unless I missed something, Jane and Kristen. You'll let me know, but I think otherwise we are good to go. And thank you again so much for joining us. And we'll see you next time.